This is a lubricity tester, and with the help of the lubricity tester, we compare between variety of lubricants on the market and Polytron products. This lubricity tester has several parts. One part is the electrical motor, with the help of which the bearing race is rotating. Okay, here we have a bearing roller that is stationary. Now, when the bearing race is rotating and the roller is stationary, and we apply pressure between the roller and the race with the help of the torque wrench, then we get friction. The higher the load that we apply, the higher the friction. The load we apply with the help of this torque wrench, and these numbers represent the load that we apply between the race and the roller. As you can see, the race is rotating and the roller is stationary. And this is the worst case scenario in any mechanism, when one part is moving and another part is stationary. Now, when we start applying pressure between the race and the roller, the ampermeter will start moving upwards to higher numbers. The higher the friction, the higher the number it will show. And the difference between the new number and the zero friction number is actually representing the friction between the race and the roller. As you can see that the bearing roller and the bearing race are new and are completely polished, so there is no any damage. Let's start with the Vigo grease REO. We'll take a sample of this grease and apply it on the machine. Here we have plenty of grease, and we will start applying pressure. It's 15. As you saw here, we applied torque of 15 foot-pounds, and the ampermeter showed 10 amps. The friction was represented by the difference between the 10 amp and 7 amp, which is no load friction. We can show it one more time. Now we will see what kind of damage we got on the bearing roller. Now we will do the same test with the other grease, moly white grease. We'll sand off the metal that was welded onto the race. We put a new roller. We will take a sample of moly white grease. Apply it onto the race. And we'll apply here pressure of 15 foot-pounds, and we'll see what will be the reading on the ampermeter. See 15, and the reading is 9.5 amps. Again, 9.5 amps. Now we'll see what was the damage. looks like that this scar is a little bit smaller than the scar with the other grease. So from our standpoint, this grease is somewhat better than Vigo grease. Now let's see what happens when we apply Polytron Ultra Performance EP-00 grease. We'll sand off the metal that was welded onto the race. We put a new roller. Now we'll apply Polytron Ultra Performance EP-00 grease. Okay, now we will apply 15 pounds, foot-pounds, and what we see is that the ampere meter doesn't move at all. The ampere meter doesn't move at all. It means that there is no friction between the roller and the race. Here we go. Now we can pump now, which is much worse load, with between 0 and higher loads than 15 foot-pounds, almost 25. Now we'll see what happened to the friction surface. The spot that you see here is actually a pressure stain, no wear at all, which is more polished than the original surface. As you can see, there is a ring of polished surface that is much more polished than the original metal. And that's what our technology does. Not only that it eliminates wear, but also polishes the friction surfaces. And the same result you will have with Polytron Ultra Performance EP-00 grease. As you see, there is no grease on the race and the roller. As you remember, they were the friction surfaces were treated with Ultra Performance EP-00 grease. And now we remove the grease and we will see how long it will take the pressure of 15 foot-pounds before it breaks down. When there is grease starvation, once the friction surfaces were treated, then you don't need much grease in order to keep the friction surfaces protected from wear. Okay, as you can see, there is very little grease left here. That's what happens in case of grease starvation or lubrication starvation. Okay, as you will see now, it will still hold the load for quite a long time. No friction. This can happen only after the friction surfaces were treated with the grease, with Polytron grease.